And good Saturday morning to everyone. This will definitely not be the last time that you see me today. We will have updates periodically throughout the day into the evening hours all day tomorrow, and this thing looks like it will go into Monday afternoon. We'll be on top of this. I've got the entire forecast of the big picture of what's going on. We also will go into locally, show you where the lines are, what's going on. Join me later this afternoon around 3:30 as I pull this up. Stormin' Norman will join me as we'll discuss together about what is coming from the hurricane. He'll be here at 3:30, so make sure you come back around 3:30 to see what Stormin' Norman has to say about this and his predictions of what is getting ready to happen. There is no doubt if you were in the New Orleans area back toward Baton Rouge, anywhere there on the Louisiana coast, it is time to leave and get out. Now, let's look at this as we go down to the Hattiesburg area. Let me pull this up. For whatever reason, this will not go any bigger, so I'll show you here. This is Laurel Hattiesburg area here at I-59 there at US 49. That's the traffic that is going through there. Pretty steady this morning. As we go down, and let's go into Louisiana because there's I've got some folks that are headed down to the Slidell area this morning. As you look at Slidell, as we pull this up, traffic is moving a little bit better now. If you'll look at this, earlier it was horrific. It was bumper to bumper and moving very slow, but that is steady now. It's a lot of traffic if you're in the Slidell area. That's I-10 coming in there to Slidell there on the camera system there from Louisiana. So if you've got to go that way or come this way, it is going to be a little bit of a slower pace when you get there. Now, let me see if I may not hit this just right. I'm going to go over and see if I can find here let's look at Baton Rouge. As people try to evacuate right here. This is Baton Rouge, and how many times have you been across this bridge? And as you can tell, no one's coming into Baton Rouge. They're all trying to get out as they cross that Mississippi River Bridge. I don't know about y'all, but I really do not like that bridge. It gives me the willies. And as you can tell, if you're sitting up on top of that, it's a slow crawl straight across that into the other side, opposite side of Baton Rouge. But traffic is extremely slow. Everybody's been told in those areas to get out. There's reasons for it, and loss of life could be dangerous. This is still expected to be a Cat 4. They're roughly saying 140 miles an hour when it slams in there in the tomorrow afternoon. Let's pull up radar and take a quick look at this of what we've got this morning, where it's going, and we'll look at all types of things before we depart each other. As we pull up radar, here's what we got this morning. It's sitting right now, moving along at 85 miles an hour, the wind speed. Moving northwest at 16 miles an hour. It is a Cat 1 right now. As you look at this, this will gain by 1 o'clock this afternoon. It will be a Cat 2. By tomorrow morning, right after the crack of midnight, it will jump to a 3, and tomorrow will gain to a Category 4 before slamming into roughly the Baton Rouge area. As we look at this now, this has moved just a teeny bit, adjusting how it's going to fit the Meridian area. We'll look at that. We're still going to get a lot of rain and wind and potential tornadoes in the area. So we're not out of the woodwork, but it could be much worse, and we'll look at that on a map. As we look at this, here's Houma, Louisiana. It's going to come in short, a Category 4 right there. Here's Houma. That's a little unknown place there. Boof, is that how you pronounce it? I'm really horrible at Cajun names, but as we look at this, and let's look at our distance here from Houma, that's not but about 30 miles. It slams into the coastline right there. Houma, Louisiana is 30 miles inward, and we clear that, and let's look at distance tool. Let's clear that. And from the land, as you go in here, we roughly will have that 76 miles from the coastline of where it actually makes landfall to New Orleans. And if you'll see here, this is on the east side of that. New Orleans is going to get flooded. That's where people have been trying to get out of Louisiana this morning. Let me clear this out because we may use that again here in a little bit. But that's what it is right there. 138 miles an hour is what my system is still showing, with 167 mile an hour gust. That is extremely strong. This is going to be Sunday, roughly around 1 p.m. in the afternoon as it makes its way to shoreline. Give or take a few minutes, that's what we're looking at. It's going to be a very serious storm. Could this climb a little bit more? There was talk about it, but I'm not seeing it at this point. But we're still early in this Saturday morning as we watch this. Now, Baton Rouge sits here. All of this area is what's trying to evacuate. Even if you're here in Lafayette, these areas across through here. Now, this is Slidell that we looked at on the cameras just a moment ago. That is still going to get a lot of rain. That cone is not more than 10 miles outside of it. Manderville, I've been there many times. Covington, Hammond, these areas here are going to get slammed. So if you're in those areas, be ready. The Mississippi Gulf Coast is going to take in lots of rain. We will look at the surge here in a moment and see what is forecasted for our friends there on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Have patience with them. Think about them as this comes about. Now, this is where things have changed just a teeny-weeny bit as we look at this. Here's Lauderdale County. Here's Meridian. Here's Clark County. This thing hooked just a little bit more to the west. Instead of coming in closer at Jackson, it's coming in, the eye of it will be just west of Vicksburg as you look at this. Just barely. Here's Richmond, right across that state line there. This is just west of Vicksburg where the eye of it will come in. All of this area to Jackson, as we look at this right now, is under a tropical storm watch, a tropical flash flood watch, and a tropical storm watch for this area around Jackson. Now, as you go back over, let's look at Meridian. Meridian so far only has a flash flood watch. These pink areas are I guess you would call that a pink area. I'm not, it's some form of pink. All of this is tropical storm watches. As you go down here, this is Clark County right here. As you get into Wayne County and you come across here to Jones and Covington County and go up right here to Smith County. Smith is also under this tropical storm watch, which means conditions are going to be a little bit worse here than it is in the Meridian area. Scott County is the same as this as we follow this up here. This is Winston County. This is Stark, Vegas, up to Columbus is pretty much the line of where the worst of weather is going to be. So there's lots to watch, lots to do here in the next little bit as we watch this. Now, this right here, when the eye passes the Meridian area, it's going to be traveling at 35 miles an hour in the center of it with gusts to 46 miles an hour. So we're going to get some wind, and we will look at this. It's going to be a lot of rain. Now, you go, well, that's way away from us. Well, here's our concern regardless. Is this rain, we get a little wind with the trees will start falling, which will cause this power outage that we're always afraid of. Now, this storm basically is going to take the same path here. Can this move over 8, 9, 10 miles? It could, which would make it a little bit worse on us on this side. It's something to watch. This is Saturday. It's not coming in until tomorrow afternoon, but this has stayed pretty true since they gave it a line of where it was coming in within 10 miles. Either way, it has not moved a lot like these last ones we've had to where they change a lot. Now, let's turn off our severe weather, tropical here, and switch over to the spaghetti models of possibilities. As you look at this, it's still pretty much all of them aiming for that Baton Rouge area there. New Orleans has a little bit of it, but the main thrust of that still points to Baton Rouge, way away from us where it originally was. So that it's a little west of us now. Now, let's look at all of what we've got going on. Again, these is our watches and warnings that we've got here as we come down to Gulfport, Mississippi. Along the Mississippi Gulf Coast, you've got a tropical storm warning, also a storm surge warning, a hurricane watch through this, and a flash flood watch. When you get to Slidell, just right outside of the Mississippi line, things change just a little bit. Let me close that out so that will cooperate with me. And we get into the Slidell, the Louisiana area, a hurricane warning, also a storm surge warning, and a flash flood watch, to where we've got watches on the Mississippi side. The Louisiana side jumps to warnings. All of this area around New Orleans is going to get lots and lots of rain. There's going to be people that ride this out. They have nowhere to go. It was a little warning, and they cannot, at this point, the last I had read, cut all traffic to have it going out. It was too late to handle it that way, from what the mayor said. So it's, folks, steady out, and then we saw that on the map just a moment ago. As we back up and we go across here, get you a good look of where we are. This is where we are. This is where it's coming in. We're to the east of it. But the Jackson area, again, because of where it comes in Louisiana, is going to get a lot worse than the Meridian area. So just keep that in mind as we watch this. A lot of rain is starting to come with this. And let me see. I think I've got a satellite picture pulled up. I do. Here this is right here. This is it right here. That's not all that far off. And you'll see how big that is. And that's headed right in this direction. So we do have a lot of concern, a lot to watch on this. Let me see what else I was going to pull up on here. Everything still, as I mentioned when we started out, Cat 4. I don't have anything that is backing up of it going over that. Some wind pictures as we start looking at this as let's pull this up where you can see this. This is from Daily Mail. This is on to the Pontchartrain. Who's ever been on that bridge across there? And this is a concern as you look at this. As you cross that, the higher your vehicle is, there's no trees, there's nothing to block that wind as it comes across that bridge. So 18-wheelers, anybody pulling a camper, it's going to be rough on them as they go across this. Drive extra slow. You never know what will happen. You've seen the pictures of that happening to a lot of people as they try to cross these. Gas pumps in those areas in Louisiana are running out of gas quickly. As always, I'm sure bread at this point. I've heard tons and tons of people getting their supplies there in the Louisiana area. Empty shelves. Now, I have not had a chance, as people board up their thing, I have not had a chance to go around in our area, and y'all probably know a lot more about it than I do of what we're running low on in town. So if you've got any comments like that, I'm sure people have been out getting it. I know generators were a hot item all day yesterday. Now, we had EMEPA in yesterday morning as we talked about. Be extra careful as to how you hook up generators. Don't wire them directly to your house if a official electrician has not hooked that up. It can backfeed and kill someone. And also, don't drag it in a carport and close the carport because you think somebody could steal it. Make sure that you've got that ventilated or it sits outside. You don't want those fumes. We have seen so many times people die from this. It's horrible. So be extra careful with generators on this. I ask that, and most of us will do that. We just don't want any in a hurry. Forget, slam the door, put it inside your house. Do not, even if you have a generator, do not drag that in the house and leave a door cracked. Y'all remember when it was so hot when we went through Katrina, and this is going to be to the day when Katrina came about. We don't want you to do any of that. It's not worth the loss of life of what we have. All right, let's go over now, and let's start with what we've got from the National Weather Service for our area, and just kind of go down through the New Orleans area and look at all of this as we come about. All right, showers this afternoon in our area, 91. It's going to be heavier south of Meridian, lower Clark County, starting there about Clarko State Park and down to Laurel. They'll have a little bit more rain this afternoon. As we go across into Alabama, Tuscaloosa, 92 today. As you get to Birmingham, 91. Livingston, Alabama, y'all will hover just like Meridian, around 91. And this eastern side of Alabama will get more rain as well. Now, here's the threat of wind that we've got here on the Mississippi side here. From Laurel over to Jackson, up to Yazoo, down to Hattiesburg, is going to be 45 to 65 mile-an-hour winds. Widespread trees are going to be down. Power is going to be out. As we look at Meridian, we're hovering 30 to 40, still with the National Weather Service. And they took a long time preparing this morning to where this report is normally out at 5:30 a.m. each and every day. They drug around till after 8 o'clock getting that. And they had been working on it, as you'll look at the timestamp, at 4 a.m., but they did not release it until later, and I can only assume they were trying to make sure they had it right before they threw that out there and had to back off of it and change it. But we're going to have winds, without a doubt, and that's in Clark County. That takes in as we go across here to Jasper and all of these areas through Newton, Philadelphia, on up to Winston County. Y'all could have this as well, up to Stark, Vegas also. As we pull down and we look at flooding, this is another concern. A lot of it can come down. This will come down from Sunday night through Tuesday. And again, I'll be here to cover this as this rain starts coming out, tell you where it is and how much is coming down. But 4 to 8 inches could possibly, or even higher in areas. So if your home is near a creek, and it eases up any time, it might not be a bad idea to go spend the night with a friend somewhere else. As I've mentioned numerous times about trees overhanging your house, if you've got one that just could crush it, go somewhere else. It just is not worth the possibility of this thing falling on you. Definitely don't sleep in a bedroom that has a tree overhanging it, or sit in the living room to where it overhangs it. But it would be best, and I highly suggest that if going somewhere else if you could, if you've got a big tree. They're beautiful. They make great shade, but Lord have mercy, they can hurt you. Now, here is the possibility of severe storms that the National Weather Service put out, and this goes through Sunday night through Monday night. Do we have a chance of tornadoes? We absolutely do. Is it a huge risk? No, but we do have a small chance of that. We'll be here to track this as you get down over toward Jackson and south. They have a larger greater chance of having those, but we can have spinoffs in our area. So we don't want to rule that out at all as we watch this come in on this. We move over to Alabama. Let's pull this up here. This is the severe storm area that Alabama, pretty much the entire area here in West Alabama that joins us, back over to Troy to Auburn, Alabama. If you live anywhere on that, heads up as we move in through Monday night through Tuesday in Alabama. Don't just blow that off as, oh, well, that hit over there in Louisiana. You can still have effects from this. Now, flood watches as we look at the state of Mississippi here. This comes in from NOAA. Lauderdale, Kemper, Knoxville, all the way up here, Winston, Oktibbeha, if I said that correctly. Sometimes I get tongue twisted on that. Up near Starkville there. And taking in all of this area, and it cuts just shy of reaching in to the Memphis area there. All of this area, flash flood watch. Some of this will probably change. We'll be on that to make sure you do. Now, this is the hurricane watches and warnings that we have. As you'll look here in Mississippi, a hurricane warning. You've got this right across that state line. We've got tropical storm warning through Wilkinson, Amite, Pike, Walthall, Pearl River. These counties that are right on the Gulf Coast are under a tropical storm warning as we watch that. We have a watch here up through Wayne County. Now, this is where Meridian is here. Newton, Mississippi, as you get over to Forest. It's going to be due south of Forest there in Smith County. Y'all will definitely be under a tropical storm watch. Now, the Meridian area, not in that because of that western turn. That's good news for us. Still doesn't mean we will not be without power. As we go across here, here's another view of the same thing that I just showed you here, taking out Lauderdale County. That split there, whenever you see this on a map where these two Y, this is 59, this is I-20, that is Meridian on any map. Most of the time, nationally, when they throw these pictures out there, they only show the Jackson and Hattiesburg area, a little bit larger cities there. We look at this hurricane warnings all around here over to Lake Charles, Grand Isle, New Orleans has it. We come down. This is what we're looking at in storm surges. This has not changed any since last night. You're looking at this Morgan City, 10 to 15. New Orleans, 4 to 7 feet. What this is basically telling you, if you're in a two-story building, it's going to be level with you when it comes in off that ocean. Mobile area, 2 to 4 feet, which it can come in your house. As you look at Gulfport, 7 to 11 feet. Hadn't changed a bit there. So storm surge is definitely a worry for anybody that's watching here on the coast. All right, rainfall. As you'll look at this, we're going to get a bunch here. We're going to have a lot come down. As you'll look at that, anywhere from 3 to 5 inches. And areas just south of us and west of us, this could get up to 8 inches. We'll watch that as the National Weather Service has gone over that line a little bit and put our areas possibly 8 inches there because it could happen. As we move down to the New Orleans area, forecast wind threat. If you're down there watching from New Orleans right now, Baton Rouge, look at this wind that's going to be coming through here. It's a lot. As you get over, this is the Slidell area, right there at the state line where Pearl River, Louisiana is. And then you get into the Mississippi side there. Right there, Amite, all through there, Macomb. That's in that area there also. You get into the Poplarville area, not as bad. But we'll watch that. And this comes out of New Orleans this morning. This is the flood threat. As you'll look there, it's going to be coming just west of Gulfport for flood. Bay St. Louis, all of this area, up to Macomb. That's getting on up there. Covington, all those areas in New Orleans, as you see, major potential for extreme flooding in those areas there. Baton Rouge, right on the line there. East of it, as always, is the worst part of the storm as we watch this. Tornado threat. Mississippi Gulf Coast has a huge chance of seeing some tornadoes there all through Houma, Louisiana, the New Orleans area up through Macomb. All of this area, y'all be watching as we'll watch this as it slams in. Again, 140 miles an hour is what we're expecting. We've gone over those categories. This is where we are right here. 130 to 156 is the category that we have that's going to slam into the coastline there. As we look at this, and this will be updated later today from the National Hurricane Center. It's still the same path as we looked at just a moment ago. You'll start feeling winds around 2 a.m. on the coast there from Alabama, Mississippi over to Louisiana, and by Sunday at 8 a.m. is pretty horrific there. By Sunday at 8 p.m. in the afternoon, we'll start feeling those in the afternoon here in the Meridian area, the winds coming in from this hurricane. Now, this has not been changed, the wind of what we're going to feel here in the Meridian, Jackson, Mississippi, as you get down to Hattiesburg there. Still, the Meridian area right there is clocking right now 20 to 30. As you get down to Hattiesburg, we're looking at 30 to 40, and then the further you get down in, there's going to be some 60-mile-an-hour winds right there. It's a fine line as to where we are due to if this thing moves over just a little bit east, all of this will spread just a tad over, and our area will be a lot worse than is predicted on this map. We're still about 38 hours or so out from this thing hitting. So all of this can change as we come up. Rainfall again, it's a bunch there. So that at this point is sort of a quick update of what we've got. Let's look at our forecast of what we've got for our area today as we pull this up. Here it is what the National Weather Service tells us to expect. And let's talk a little bit about detail to this forecast. Today we have a 60% chance of showers. Thunderstorms are likely after 1 o'clock, and again, that line being a little bit there around Clarko State Park and Clark County, getting a little bit more than Lauderdale County. Tonight will decrease to a 30% chance of showers, low around 73. By tomorrow, a 90% chance of rain. We're going to have some rain showers between 8 and 1, and then that's when that 90% chance of strong thunderstorms comes in after 1 o'clock. That's that afternoon deadline where it comes ashore and starts creeping its way through here. It's going to be heavy rainfall. High is going to reach 86. We'll have sustained winds anywhere from 5 to 15 and gusts of 25 tomorrow afternoon. By tomorrow night, we have tropical storm conditions here. This is tomorrow night, Sunday night, right there. Tropical storm conditions, 80% chance of rain, and basically the worst of it will come right after midnight, around 1 a.m. It's going to be heavy at times. Low will reach 72. You'll wake up Monday morning with more tropical storm conditions, 100%, as you see there on the map. That's coming. 100% chance of that, possibly stretching into the afternoon hours. Also, heavy rainfall. We're going to get at least 2 inches, and then in some cases where we're getting these locally flooding things, up to 4, 5, even more inches, isolated areas. As we get into Monday night, we look at this. Tropical storm conditions still exist for our area. 100% chance of thunderstorms as we get into Monday night. And our winds will be 15 to 20 miles an hour steady with gusts of 35 miles an hour. So then Monday night, we get an additional 2 inches. So that's a total of 4 inches in between those two there. So, and then any rain before that. And that's where we get above this 4 to 5 to 6, 7, 8 inches. So Monday, definitely it looks like up to 4 inches by itself if it doesn't rain harder. As we roll into Tuesday morning there, still an 80% chance of showers and thunderstorms. Our winds will be steady at 15 miles an hour and still gust of 15 miles an hour. Rain's not gone on Tuesday night, 50% chance there. We get into gust also of 20 miles an hour. And Wednesday, we still have rain chances at 60%. So we've got a lot of weather that is coming our way. So be careful with this as we go through this now. I'm going to be breaking in throughout the day. We'll have more chances and things and updating you as this comes about, because there will be a few changes. Nothing major. It's still going to be hitting in the same area, but it could affect our little area on the fringe areas just a little bit different there. Let's see. All right, as we look at this, let me say some thank yous to some folks that support me, make this happen. They're neighbors of yours. Joe out of the Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville. How many folks have been by there lately? Visited him to see some bread stuff. That's Joe. He'll take care of you. They're getting restocked this morning. Lauderdale County Farm Supply, exit 151. Drop in and see Ron. They'll do anything to help you. Eastgate Tire. Have you been to visit Matthew when you need a set of tires? Good Christian folks. They're honest as the day is long. If you haven't visited with them, bought a set of tires, I urge you, before you get anywhere else, get a price on them. They'll make it well worth your while. San Marcos, Chino, one of my closest friends that I've ever bumped into. He'll get you up with a great meal there, along with Talbot Enterprises, good family folks there. If you need a part for your car, they save you money. The Precast Group here in Meridian, to where if you don't want to sit in your house and worry if something's going to happen, they can get you a storm shelter. Talk to them. It's very affordable. They can set it where you need to. You pick it out, they'll take care of it there. SMI Automotive, Joe. Been here a long, long time in the area. Any accessory you're looking for a truck, they've got it. Sanders Gas, they've got those generators. Generac, to where you will not sit in the dark anymore. That's what I've got here at my studio. It turns on automatically, and you're maybe without power 45 seconds at the most. I think it's closer to 30 seconds. It turns on. Then when the power turns back on, it automatically turns off. One of the greatest investments that you will ever make. Talk to Chuck. You'll find him on 22nd Avenue. Chet's Paint and Body. As we will see, as this storm comes about, it'll be somebody's car that gets hit with a limb, damaged, something slammed into it, comes across the yard. It happens. See Chuck. Chet, I almost said Chuck. Chet's known him forever. Located right there in Center Hill. They'll put your car back to the way it was. Talk to Chet today. He'll help you there. Also, as we go into Why Not Motorsports Park, of all the racing out there, Rodney Wing and all of his staff there that bring us great racing each weekend. Freeman Tractor. When it comes time to cut your grass, Freeman helps you out there. Of course, Masterflow Plumbing. They're located and they take care of things anywhere from Hattiesburg to the Mississippi Gulf Coast, taking care of anything that you need. Godwin Cleaning Services. You need your home clean, make it look good. Sidewalks, your house, put it back to the way it used to. Talk to Godwin Cleaning Services. I'll put up a link on that before long. Brookdale, if you've got someone that needs a little extra help, maybe they just need someone to check on them for a little while during the day, live on their own. They've got that at Brookdale, and they can also expand this if you need a little extra care for a loved one. They do that also. Maple's one-stop shop, 4 locations around town. If you need gas, drinks, they've got it. Also, we say a big thank you to Citizens National Bank. They're locally owned. If you're looking for a checking account, opening a business, drop in and see them. They'll do that. They financed everything when I built my home and shop and took care of me. Citizens National Bank. Along with EMEPA, can't beat them. And Snowden and Company Real Estate, taking care of the Meridian area, now expanded to Jackson. If you're looking or trying to sell a home, they do all that for you, along with Kim's Photography and Graphics Guru. That's a few of the folks that do business with us, and we do appreciate them, and each one of you doing business with them. It's all about keeping it here in the community, locally owned, operated. That's who deals with me. Again, thank y'all. I'm going to be back, and don't forget, Storming Norman will be joining me at about 3:30, give or take a few minutes this afternoon, as we get together to go over the newer models of what's going to be coming in. That's this afternoon. 3:30, make sure to be here with Stormin' Norman. He's one of the best in the area. He's been doing it for a long time. A lot of folks trust him. I want his opinion on what's coming. Again, that will be live right here at 3:30 as we bring him about. So we'll be back very shortly. Thank y'all for dropping by and spending a few moments with me. Again, we'll be behind the scenes here. If you've got a question, feel free to inbox me. We'll get that and shoot you an answer as soon as possible. If you've got a question where you live, what it is, anything like that. If you know of a place where trees have fallen, where it's dangerous to go, let us know. As we get into this storm. It'll be more of that. If there's any closings, we don't have anything like that right now. But should that happen, we want to hear from you as we do this. Again, thank y'all very much. I'll be back soon as we follow Hurricane Ida as she makes her way toward the state of Mississippi. Thanks a bunch, and thanks for dropping by Scotty Ray's Weather.
Scotty Ray's Weather is brought to you by